On to you, Capricorn. So you have the Three of Cups, Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles for you. What you've got going on here is the Three of Cups for you, Capricorns. You're pretty much in a situation where some of y'all clicked off the video. Relax, right? A lot of you Capricorns, you're in a situation where it's celebratory. You feel good. The Three of Cups represents celebration a lot of the times, and the Two of Cups celebrating with your significant other, celebrating by yourself, celebrating with your friends, all of that. And then the Two of Pentacles here just represents, it's a fun time, kicking your feet up, enjoying yourself, and pretty much, you're focusing on yourself, like I said, and you feel free. You feel like there's a weight that's essentially being lifted off of your shoulders. And because of that, you feel amazing, right? And so now you have the Page of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. The Page of Swords and the Four of Pentacles here represent how this is a case for you where this is pretty much a case for you where what you've got going on is you don't have Page of Swords, you don't have to deal with dysfunctional individuals getting all up in your face, all up in your way. Because the Page of Swords, especially in this deck, represents someone that is just dysfunctional, someone that really doesn't want you Capricorns to succeed. So that's your family, that's your ex, that's anybody in your life that you've experienced or you've interacted with on a long enough time where, again, they just didn't want you Capricorns to succeed. It was very adversarial, and and that's another thing too. No one has adversarial energy with you for no reason. All of it is strategic. Now, the strategy is stupid sometimes, even though it is strategic and it's intelligent on that sense. But the strategy is stupid in on itself sometimes, because on one hand, they wanted to try to show you Capricorns that you don't need them to be around. On the other hand, they would have gladly taken the money. So it's like, it's this weird catch-22 where it's like, on the one hand, they did all of this because they wanted you to low-key secretly cut them off. On the other hand, they also did this to see if you would continue to pay them money in their hand. And that if you would have done that, they would have gladly taken the money. But the real objective underneath even that is to get you to leave them alone, because they know that they're failing. And so the situation is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles here for you Capricorns is about how, so a lot of you are, again, you have your head on your shoulders. You Capricorns know good and well what it is that you want to do. And you Capricorns are definitely planning on sticking to your script and making sure that you actually make the right decisions for you in the first place, which is great. And so now you Capricorns also have the Ace of Pentacles. And this is about how you know what's important to you. The Four of Pentacles represents you keeping your money and your position to yourself. And you will only distribute it and share it with people whom you want to. Not saying that you're going to be stingy or you're going to be stuck up or you have some sort of dysfunction or you're ungrateful. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that you Capricorns are enjoying it because you understand what you have and that you're not going to squander it. And so the Ace of Pentacles here for you Capricorns really are a situation for you where the Ace of Pentacles ultimately is about how you realize essentially the value that you Capricorns have, and that you essentially could do so much with it, right? And the Three of Pentacles here represents how, and so a lot of you are essentially, how do I say this? Like, you're proud of the system that you've created for yourself. This house, this spiritual house that you've essentially built up. Yeah, your place to stay, yeah. But I mean, like, you accomplished your goals. You did it without having to get on your hands and knees and please and all this other type of goofy nonsense and all of that. Like, you're not doing any of that. You Capricorns are living your life, and you don't have to, like I said, you didn't have to switch up or, you know, like how a lot of people do and stuff like this. They get to a point where they get good, and then they start disrespecting people around them because they don't know who's really for them. So they're just like, I'm just gonna disrespect everybody because I'm unsure who's really for me and who's not. And what they do is they end up disrespecting everybody. But it's not a matter of they wanted to do it, is that they're unsure of it, right? Sometimes they want to get people to stop hanging out with them because they see the other person being better than them. And so they're like, okay, if I make myself disrespectful to this person, eventually this person will leave me alone and will stop looking up to me. You know what I'm saying? And will stop looking up to me and all of that. But you Capricorns are not thinking about that. You Capricorns, because you're not necessarily trying to be a role model per se. It's just that, or like do it for the sense of fame, right? Ambition. You're doing it to get famous. No, you Capricorns are essentially, you've built a system for yourself and it's actually working. And the Chariot here is about, where it is that you want to go. You have your investments, you have your job, you have your place to stay, and most importantly, you still have your soul. You still have your soul. You still have your innocence. You still have your purity, where the purity is your intentions, right? You want to be decent to people. And so because of that, that's exactly what it is that you Capricorns are doing. Page of Cups and the Empress here is about how you Capricorns, you feel good about where you are, and you low-key have people that gave you a hard time, but they low-key kind of look up to you because that was their intention. It was to turn you off from hanging out with them because they didn't want you to feel obligated. But again, people have a funny way of showing it sometimes, right? I know, like me personally, I know all the individuals who wanted to give me a difficult time as far as relationships. I know that they liked me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hanging around me in the first place. But they're caught up in an agenda. They're caught up in a dysfunction, whatever their dysfunction may be. So I know what's happening, right? I got to stay away from those individuals. I can't have them around me because they're not trying to have me in their life, not because they don't want me to be there, but because they know that they are in a dysfunction. But they don't want me to try to come in and to save them. Same thing with you Capricorns. These people didn't want you to be around them. Now, again, it's a catch-22 because they would have been happy to take the money, but they don't want you to be around them because they know more than likely they're not going to make themselves any better than you. They're not going to be able to go with you. They're not going to be able to keep up with you. And so the Page of Cups and the Empress here for you is a representation of how the Empress is all about how you Capricorns, you got better, right? Your value grew. What happened here for you is you're in a place where you very much so love yourself. You love how far you've come. You love your resilience, or you should love it. The fact that, no matter what happened, you never caved in, you never gave in, you stayed focused. If you wanted something and you didn't have it, you asked, right? You legitimately asked. All it is that you needed to do was ask. And so you did. And now you feel good about where you are. Let's clarify the Empress. Okay. You have the Knight of Michael, Knight of Ariel, Ace of Michael, Queen of Raphael, and then you also have the High Priestess for you. So What's going on here for you is the Nine of Michael, Knight of Ariel, and then you have the Ace of Michael, right? So these three cards here for you are a representation of the Knight of Michael, Knight of Ariel, and the Ace of Michael. These, what you've got going on is these three cards here, to clarify the Empress, right, is your own strength, your own grown strength. The Knight of Michael, the Knight of Ariel, and the Ace of Michael. The Knight of Okay. The Nine of Michael represents how a lot of you Capricorns don't, again, you shouldn't, this is more confirmation. Do not feel down about the progress that you've made. Stop doing that. The Knight of Ariel and the Ace of Michael, you need to move forward, right? A lot of you feel guilty about your strength, and stop doing that. And the reason why is because if you feel too guilty about your strength, you're not going to move forward, and you're going to regress if you're not careful, right? Start thinking that this isn't for you and everything and all of that. And, then you have the Queen of Michael, excuse me, you have the Queen of Ariel and the High Priestess. The Queen of Ariel, excuse me, the Queen of Raphael and the High Priestess, excuse me. Queen of Raphael here represents, so a lot of you are learning to be proud of whom you Capricorns are, or you should be. And the High Priestess represents, and also continue to learn, right? Continue to learn from your mistakes, the mistakes of others, make wise decisions. This is also about how, keep your confidence in how good you feel, on the inside. Don't start overly expressing it, because or going overboard with it, or for that matter, right, on the other side, start thinking that you need to feel a certain kind of way, or feel guilty or whatever, or like you can't strive because you're keeping it all for yourself. I mean, you're a responsible adult. You're doing your thing. You are a responsible adult. You're not trying to burden anybody with what you've got going on. And you Capricorns are doing what you need to. So you don't have to feel all over the place with what you've got going on. You're doing great. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 29,689 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all, so you can be notified whenever it is that I drop my videos. Also, too, if you Capricorns want to come through and get a personal reading from me, the link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. I have a few more announcements, of course. So y'all pretty much already know I have a video game out. It's on the iOS. You can actually go to the iOS. It's called The Quest, first chapter, but I'll also post a link in it. I worked really hard on this, the video game, because I wanted to, like I said, provide value. I didn't want any of you to think that, that I'm not constantly trying to create value for y'all, because I am. And not only that too, but also I also have a virtual store. So it's kind of like you just kind of have to check it out. It's amazing, right? It's amazing how far technology has come. But it's another way to kind of like look at my store, right? The Teespring store that I have, with the clothes, the Kareem Spiritworks clothes. If you want to go ahead and purchase anything from there, you can. All you need to do is just click on one of the paintings that's up in the virtual store, or you can go to the link, okay, in the comment section below, right, to the virtual store, also to the direct Teespring store. I'll probably try to do something to post up the link in the comment section as well. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I want to go ahead and say thank you for all of the subscribers. I'm growing very quickly, and I never thought that I'd be able to grow so quickly, and very much so appreciative of how much it is that I'm growing, right? look out next year because you don't know how far we'll grow. Peace.